Welcome back to War Archive, your gateway to the untold stories of history's greatest battles and the mysterious folk tales that time almost forgot. From the clash of empires to whispers of legends, we uncover it all one story at a time. So, gear up, history buffs and thrill seekers. Your journey into the past starts right now. Like, share and subscribe and enter a world of war, mystery, and timeless. The forest of unspoken things. When the war ended, Europe breathed out, but the forests of Bavaria did not. Rumors moved through them like cold wind. A sealed complex, deeper than any shelter, built for a purpose no one spoke aloud. Captain Elias Mercer was sent to find it. He wasn't chosen for his rank, only for his ability to see what others would rather leave buried. A historian turned soldier. A man who believed that the most dangerous things in the world were not weapons, but secrets. A captured deserter had spoken of a place where screams do not escape. Another mentioned the well that drinks fear. The Nazi files called it one name: Projekt Nachtbrunnen, Projekt Nightwell. Mercer's task: locate the bunker, retrieve what remained, and expose what the SS tried to burn from history. He hoped it was propaganda. He prayed it was exaggeration. It wasn't. Origins of the experiment. Nightwell began in 1943, when the war was turning against Germany. The SS leadership wanted a way to produce soldiers immune to fear, pain, and hesitation, humans stripped to their violent instincts. The program consumed villages in the dead of night. Prisoners, dissidents, even loyal Germans. Anyone the Reich deemed unnecessary. Dr. Franz Keller, one of the project's creators, tried to flee the program's grip. When Allied forces captured him, he spilled everything, trembling, exhausted, ashamed. "We didn't create soldiers," Keller whispered. "We hollowed men out and replaced them with obedience." He drew Mercer a map to the bunker. Then he begged him not to bring the survivors out alive. The descent into the bunker. The entrance lay beneath a collapsed farmhouse. The air grew colder as Mercer's squad moved deeper, lights shaking, boots crunching over broken glass and abandoned syringes. Every level revealed a new circle of horror. Level 1, holding cells carved directly into concrete. Level 2, operating chambers with restraints bolted to floors. Level 3, reconditioning rooms humming with dead machinery. The deeper they went, the more the walls looked scratched. Not by tools, by hands. Mercer found files describing fear extraction cycles. Sessions designed to break subjects until their minds submitted to commands implanted through drugs and psychological pressure. One line repeated in multiple documents: "The well must be fed until fear is gone." Then the power flickered. Someone else was in the bunker. The enemy that survived. They weren't soldiers. They weren't civilians. They were Phase 3 subjects, the last test group, left behind when the war ended. Bodies toughened, pain dulled, instincts sharpened. Minds shattered into obedience triggers. Once activated, they responded to sound, to movement, to anyone who wasn't SS. Mercer's squad faced them in the dark. Close quarters fighting, muzzle flashes illuminating gaunt faces and empty eyes. One of Mercer's closest friends, Private Dawson, died screaming in the black corridors. And in that moment, Mercer understood that the true purpose of Nightwell wasn't to win the war. It was to prepare for the next one. Turning point, the truth in the archive room. In the deepest chamber, Mercer found the central archive, steel drawers stuffed with files, reels of tape, and one final report signed by the SS overseer, Commandant Vargel. It revealed the truth. Nightwell was never meant for Germany. It was a blueprint. A prototype for a future empire built on emotional suppression and psychological domination. A system any nation could adopt. Mercer realized the danger. If the files survived, someone else, someday, could resurrect them. He faced a moral dilemma that cut deeper than any battlefield decision. Preserve the evidence, or destroy it to prevent its rebirth. He chose humanity over history. Mercer ordered the charges placed. The escape and the end of Nightwell. The squad raced upward as fire spread through the bunker. Explosions tore the corridors apart, collapsing experiments, archives, and the last remnants of the subjects still haunting the dark. Mercer was the last man out. As the forest shook from the detonations, he made a silent promise to the dead, both the victims and the monsters they were turned into. No one would ever rebuild Nightwell. Not in his lifetime. Aftermath, scars that do not heal. Official Allied reports called it a destroyed munitions depot. Nations wanted reconstruction, not reminders of how fragile morality becomes during war. Mercer carried the truth alone. It hollowed him. It aged him. It followed him home. He wrote only one diary entry about that night. The greatest evil isn't found in the battlefield, but in the quiet rooms where men justify their cruelty. The ruins were buried under earth and snow. The world moved on. But Mercer never did. Outro. The shadows that history forgot. This has been the secret Nazi experiment bunkers found after the war. A journey into the corners of conflict where the maps turn black, and where ambition twists into something unrecognizable. Nightwell is gone. Its halls collapsed. Its records ash. Its ghosts silent. But the lesson remains. The most terrifying experiments are not the ones that fail, but the ones the world forgets. For every bunker burned, another idea waits in the mind of someone convinced they can control fear, weaponize obedience, or manufacture loyalty. Captain Elias Mercer understood what few dared to accept. Evil does not die with the regimes that create it. It survives in the shadows we refuse to shine a light on. This is the War Archive, where forgotten stories rise from the ashes, and where the past warns the future. Until the next file is opened, stay vigilant, because history never sleeps, and some secrets refuse to stay buried.